Is the AmScope T690C DKPL the kind of microscope that will actually move your hobby or classroom projects forward, or is it a pricey piece of glass that ends up gathering dust? If you're wondering whether a trinocular setup, oil immersion capability, and a 2,500 ceiling are worth the investment for everyday use, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started digging into compound microscopes for my own backyard biology kit, the biggest fear was ending up with a flashy model that looked great on the shelf but fell apart the first time I tried to focus on a pond water sample. The AmScope T690 series promises a professional-grade trinocular head, a full set of objectives, and even a built-in camera mount, which on paper sounds like the perfect bridge between a student microscope and a lab-grade instrument. The question is whether those promises translate into day-to-day reliability, and whether the price point matches the actual value you'll get if you're just trying to look at onion cells or a prepared slide for a school project. Let's start with who would actually benefit from this machine. The trinocular head is the centerpiece. It lets you view the specimen with both eyes while a third port feeds a camera. If you're a hobbyist who enjoys photographing slide specimens for a blog, or a teacher who wants to project live images to a classroom without constantly swapping eyepieces, that third port is a genuine timesaver. The vertical camera mount is already built in, so you don't have to buy an external adapter or wrestle with a makeshift rig. Pair that with the 100 oil immersion objective, and you can actually resolve fine cellular structures. Think the nuclei of onion epidermal cells or the flagella on a single-celled organism. For anyone who plans to publish their images, run a small research project, or simply love the visual satisfaction of a crisp, high-magnification photo, the T690C DKPL gives you the hardware to do it without a major upgrade later. On the other side of the equation are the folks who should probably look elsewhere. If you're a middle school teacher who only needs to show basic Brightfield slides a few times a week, the extra complexity of a trinocular head adds cost without adding real utility. The same goes for absolute beginners who have never adjusted a mechanical stage or dealt with oil immersion. The microscope's reverse-mounted nosepiece, while useful for flipping between low-power scanning and high-power work, can feel unintuitive if you're used to the more common forward-facing configuration. And the halogen illumination, although adjustable via a rheostat, tends to be less bright than modern LED sources. In a dimly lit classroom, you might find yourself constantly turning the knob to chase enough light, only to end up with a warm, yellowish hue that washes out fine detail. For those who just need a reliable, plug-and-play visual aid, a simpler monocular unit with LED illumination will likely give you a smoother experience for a fraction of the price. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that actually show up when you sit down at the bench. The double-layer mechanical stage is a solid piece of engineering. The 1mm divisions give you predictable, repeatable movement, which is a blessing when you're trying to locate a tiny organism after you've moved the slide a few centimeters away. The stage stop also prevents accidental slips, so you can leave a slide under the lens for extended observation without fearing that the platform will drift. I tried the stage while scanning a dried algae sample, and the fine control let me keep the field of view steady while I adjusted focus with the coarse and fine knobs. The fact that the stage is built into the frame, rather than hanging on a separate arm, reduces wobble, a common complaint with cheaper tabletop models. The illumination system is another area where the T690 shines, but with caveats. The built-in halogen lamp provides both Brightfield and Darkfield modes. Darkfield, in particular, can make transparent specimens glow against a dark background, which is fantastic for highlighting motile microorganisms. In practice, you do need to tweak the rheostat carefully. The lamp can go from too dim to blindingly bright in a matter of clicks. The trade-off is that halogen bulbs have a warm color temperature that can slightly shift the perceived colors of stained slides. If you need true color fidelity for scientific documentation,